Alright guys, welcome back. So in this lesson we're going to be learning how to mix house music. I always teach how to mix house music before I teach how to mix hip hop and R&B music. And the reason being said is because we've just learned about music theory and phrasing. House music is always going to change every 16 bars, okay? And what you'll also find is usually every 8 bars there'll be, a change as well. There might be a new instrument come in or percussion or something like that. So it's very easy to find where we are in a song and to be able to start counting, those 16 bars to know when to drop in the next track, okay? So usually house music will have a structure of intro, breakdown, build up, drop, then it'll break down again, then it'll drop again, then there'll be an outro. So once we are able to hear the changes in the tracks, then we're going to be able to know when to start bringing in the next song. So I hope that hasn't confused you too much, but I do want you to have a general understanding of how this works. So what we're going to do in this tutorial is we're going to mix the first song. It's going to be on the left. We're going to start playing that, and while that's playing, we're going to count our 16 bars, and then we're going to introduce the next song on the right deck. Okay, so when we're counting the 16 bars, on the 17th bar is when we're going to drop this. So while we're counting, we're going to cue this track up, make sure it's all ready, and then we have 16 bars to mix this song in, have it mixing with this song, and then mix this one out. So it is a slow transition, and this is why I teach it, because once you learn this, then when you're going to go and mix hip hop and R&B, which is a lot quicker, you're going to have a much more clear foundation understanding of how to mix, and you're going to be able to find the transition being easy, as opposed to if we're going to mix hip hop and then learn how to do house music. Okay, so if you look on the Serato part of the screen right now, you'll see that both songs are at 120 BPM. Like I said, that's the most important thing. We have to make sure that both songs are at the same speed, otherwise you're going to get a train wreck, which is when it just clashes and just disgusting, right? It's every DJ's worst nightmare. If you ever do get in a train wreck, you can just filter out or use an effect to cut the track and then just drop the next one, or pull it down. You'll work it out, trust me. Alright, so we're going to get this song on the left ready. Alright, so hear that, we've got that ready. Now, how we mix house music, this is just a basic transition, is what we're going to do is we're going to have the bass down on the song that we're going to be mixing into. And what that does is it makes sure there's not too much bass playing. If we have the bass playing on both tracks, it's just way too full on and it can blow the speakers. It sounds horrible and you're not going to get a smooth transition, okay? So what we're going to do when we're mixing in the song on the right is we're slowly going to bring the volume fader up on the right deck while we have that bass down, okay? So once we've brought the volume up on the right deck, we're then going to swap the basses here. So we're going to turn this one from 12 down to 0 while turning this one from 0 up to 12 o'clock, okay? Now we do this slowly. Some people when they start, they do it real quick like that. You're not going to do that right now. We can save that for hip hop, okay? So once we've swapped the basses, then we're just simply going to slowly fade out the next track until the remainder of that 16 bar transition is complete, and you'll hear, just as you're about to drop this out, you'll hear the next part of the song on the right deck come in, and we would have completed a successful transition. So we're going to do this once, and then what I'm going to do is actually then mix from the right deck back to the left, just so you have an understanding. You've seen what it's like to continue mixing, because a lot of people, they'll teach you how to do it once, then you go, oh well, what do I do after I've mixed one song? Well, then you're going to mix into the next song, but it's a lot easier to do once you've seen someone do it. Okay, so enough talking, we're going to start doing this. Now I encourage you as well, as soon as you've watched this, to go and practice this yourself. When I teach, on the cruise ships, I will always get people, as soon as I've demonstrated this, to come up and everyone has a shot. And what they find is once they actually try and do it and I'm there to help them, it's actually a lot easier than you think. If you just stay there and you don't go and do it, you're going to get stuck in your head and talk yourself out of doing it, and that it's hard and things like that, and we don't want that. Alright, let's do this. We've got this song on the left queued up and ready to go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, coming up. We're gonna fade completely out. Here we go. Right, so now I've got the song on the right playing. That's the only track playing. We've done our successful transition. So as you see, that was quite simple. So while this is playing through the song, I'm going to get the next song to load up. We're going to mix back to the left. So I've got the song on the left ready to go, but if you have a look, that's at 121 BPM, the song on the left, and the song we're playing now is at 120. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring that song down on the left to 120. And one thing you can also do that a lot of people do is they'll just sync the songs at the same time. That way, it's always going to be in time. So if you need to do that to start, you can do it, but I just tell you that once you learn how to do this, then eventually, learn to mix without the sync. A lot of guys will do it, especially if you're slamming a lot of hip-hop songs really quickly. It just allows you to be able to scratch and to do that. It's not really looked at as being professional. We're going to wait till the next drop. If you have a look on the Serato screen, you'll see we're halfway through the breakdown. It's building up to the next drop. So we're going to wait until the next drop, and then we're going to start mixing the song. You might notice when I mix two that I tap on the Q button on the beat. This just allows me to keep in time with the song. When I drop the play button, this will pretty much on time. So we're going to slowly bring the song up. Swap out the bass. Slowly bring out the track on the right. There we go, we've done another smooth transition. So what we can do now, because I'm going to end this lesson, is I'm going to slowly filter out. And bring the fader down. Alright guys, that is how you mix house music. That is a basic transition. Guys, in the next lesson we're going to learn how to mix hip-hop. And then after we learn how to mix hip-hop, I'm going to teach you how to transition from something like house music down to hip-hop, which is usually a slower BPM, and also how to mix songs that, let's say if one song is at 128 BPM, it's a house track, how to mix that into a hip-hop or a trap song or an R&B song that is half that speed, which is 64. Because we can mix songs at the same tempo, and we can also mix songs that are half that or double that. So that's what we're going to learn the next couple of lessons, okay? I'll see you there.